welcome to Czar, where people come first.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Razia.
I'm Dylan.
Hey, Dylan. So nice to meet you. Is this your first time in Czar?
It is my first time.
Okay, well, welcome. We're happy you're here. I'll tell you a little about who we are and what we do. So we're all certified cannabis consultants, including myself. And really near and dear to our heart is Czar's Mission 22. So Czar's Mission 22 is where we give 22% off daily to our veterans and a discount for access to affordable what we coin as cannatherapy. Specifically want to create more awareness in our communities that 22 veterans do take their lives due to suicide. And we're really proud that we've given now over $5 million in direct veteran discounts since June 2020. Do you happen to be a veteran?
I'm not a veteran myself, but I have so many veterans that members. That's awesome that you guys do that.
Oh, thank you so much. And, thank you for coming in and becoming a patron of ours, because through that, your service actually impacts us and has the ability for us to continue providing this daily discount. So, yes. So a little bit about Czar. We are a premier cannabis dispensary in the state of Texas. We have some award-winning gummies and just premium quality products. We take third-party lab testing seriously, and we ensure clean labeling, and just really helping people feel empowered that they should know what they're ingesting. So definitely, I'm happy you're here, and this is the place to be to learn about cannatherapy. So have you ever heard of the endocannabinoid system?
I haven't.
Okay, so if you take a look at this specifically represents more of the different compounds that are included in the hemp flower, and even its cousin, marijuana, right? In Texas specifically, everything has to be derived from hemp. And so if you think about the hemp flower in essence, what's considered a full spectrum is various non-psychoactive compounds like CBD, CBG, CBN, and along with derivatives of THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol, which more people are familiar with, like delta-9 THC. But it's in very small quantities in the hemp flower per se, right? So what we do is we have an entire line that's dedicated to just having pure isolate CBD or broad spectrum non-psychoactive products, so we can continue to serve those who are worried about drug tests. So let me ask you a question. Are you worried about a drug test?
I'm not worried about a drug test myself, no.
Okay.
I would like to stay away from the psychoactive products.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. We can take care of you there. Specifically, that's a really important question, so I have a better opportunity to really help curate what I would recommend in regards to what a lot of people are seeking relief from. So most people, Dylan, who come through our storefronts, they're looking for relief from issues that you can see across the board here, from sleep issues, sleeplessness, pain, anxiety, even depression. So anything catch your eye? I saw you point over there.
Yeah, the anxiety, depression, energy and focus, all of those things are things that I really struggle with, social anxiety especially.
Okay, and I can completely relate. I also have chronic anxiety along with chronic pain, and absolutely cannatherapy transformed my life. First off, let me help you out here. I'm going to give you our award-winning pure CBD isolate gummy. It's 50 milligrams. This was award-winning from Texas A&M's Texas Hemp Reporter, did an entire trial study with their PhD students. And I just want to get this in because I think you're really going to have an amazing experience here. It is 50 milligrams, I said. Just grab one of those. That actually is our wild berry. There's 3 different flavors in this jar. Anytime there is a wild berry, watermelon, and tangerine. How do you love that taste?
Oh, it tastes amazing.
Yes, it does. And when I was coming back to kind of quality control and what quality and premium means, specifically with our gummies, it's a great way to showcase that to you. They're all infused. And that's really important because one of the most utilized technologies still today is spray technology, dipped or soaked. I don't know if you've had edibles in the past where you open a jar and one may seem effective and one doesn't. And okay, because that's literally the spray. At Czar, we infuse everything and really help ensure what that dosing is. And we also provide you a cannatherapy dosing guide.
So if I cut that gummy in half, then it would be 25 milligrams in each side.
Absolutely. What we do know is that 50 milligrams is a very safe dose for an individual of your stature. So I definitely recommend that one gummy, and it can be taken in the morning or hence anytime, but I'm going to really write a regimen to really attack what I call that social anxiety that you're dealing with. So talking about that social anxiety, let's talk about the severity of it on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being really severe, which you deal with even daily triggers that you can think of, which could probably be crowds or public speaking. Where would you say you're at on a daily basis? And you could even give me a range.
I would say 6 to 7, but there's days where we get as bad as 8 or 9.
Okay.
Especially with like public speaking, different things like that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, no, that really helps me. Now, how often with your line of work are you in situations where you are doing public speaking?
I would say almost on a daily basis.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Got it. You know what? You're really brave, right? Social anxiety and taking on a job that really puts you into those situations. The beautiful thing with the gummy that you just took, it's what you're going to be looking for, that I'm going to visibly look for, is within 5 to 7 minutes, a few more minutes of us talking, your shoulders may feel like they literally dropped or relaxed, and a sensation of just your limbs feeling more relaxed. Your mental clarity, your mental focus is all here. But that's the power of just putting in a solid 50 milligrams of just CBD. It's a really, if you think about your endocannabinoid system, which all mammals have, it really helps to relate. It's a system that speaks to all of our other systems, and it helps you really create what we call homeostasis and balance. So what I am doing is attacking that CBD receptor that's feeding through your digestive system right now. And so what we always speak to is how canatherapy works best in layers. I've initiated one layer, which is an edible, which on average, most people can get 4 to 6 hours of relief on. The difference is how quickly something reacts with you and how long it will last. So there's always a difference in initiation and the ending period of this particular modality. But let me ask you, with I know anxiety and the stress of what you're saying that you're putting yourself into on a pretty much daily basis here, do you find that you carry some of that stress and tension in your shoulders and behind your neck?
100%.
Okay, got it. So on that note, I'm going to give you this sample right here, and I'm going to actually pump one pump, which is 20 milligrams of our combination. It's our eye pump. I like to call it our magic cream. It's localized. Go ahead and apply that there. Give it a good rub, 10 to 15 seconds, a nice rubbing that particular area. And then I'll kind of walk you through what this particular product is. So this is called our eye pump. It's a 2,000 milligram pump, 20 milligram medically metered pump. Again, ensuring quality control and dosing for you. So you can recognize very quickly within that same time frame of 5 to 7 minutes of just feeling a lot looser and a lot more relaxed. The difference here is this is now a combination or a broad spectrum. And if you recall what I was talking about, things that don't have any THC in it, broad spectrum means combinations of non-psychoactive compounds. So in this particular eye pump, you have CBD, you also have cannabigerol. So G for grandfather is the most studied compound to help induce relaxation and anti-inflammatory properties. So it's fantastic. It's literally where everything stems from.
I used to be a grouper, and I deal with a lot of shoulder pain from that.
Yes.
I didn't think to bring that up earlier, just thinking about the job I'm in currently, right?
Absolutely.
But applying that to my shoulder, I feel that heating and cooling effect already.
Yes, so that's the menthol. So I was going to walk you through that too. Most people do feel some of that cool and that heat. You're having both the menthol and the capsicum work, right? Exactly what that sensation you're feeling. The beauty of it is not transdermal. So ensuring what one dose does is important because you don't need to waste it. It's localized to that area. And so ultimately, you're not getting into the bloodstream. It's THC free anyway, but it's really nice that it's going to really work those particular dermal layers. And again, attack the endocannabinoid system and those receptors from a topical layer or dermal layer. Does that make sense? Okay, absolutely. And I'm really excited for you to feel what we coin as a simple acronym, IRR. So it increases that blood flow. It relieves that tension or inflammation, which you've already made a point of, that shoulder already loosening up, and then it essentially reduces that pain. So it's just going to get better. Now, if you think about the initiation of both of these different layers here, that is your eye pump and your anytime gummy. Actually talking to you and letting me know about that roofing, we have a blended CBG, CBD gummy that's THC free, because these are all daytime gummies. Because no matter the fact that you have what I call the golden ticket to the hemp flower, that you're not worried about a drug test, we have non-psychoactive products that have a little bit of THC, and I'm going to get to that, but I'm going to go ahead and upgrade you to our wellness gummy, because our wellness gummy has that CBG blend, and it has magnesium, zinc, some beautiful vitamins and minerals, but this will actually be better, understanding that you still deal with that inflammation from time to time, being that you are a roofer. So we're going to actually implement this in the morning time. But the biggest and the most important layer, and that this gives credence to, that you're already feeling some relief, is the actual foundational oil. And specifically with severity, it does fluctuate and goes up pretty high. So I would actually recommend our Bliss oil. And our Bliss oil is power-packed of 24-hour coverage, morning and evening. Since you really haven't used much in the cannabis realm, am I correct there? Have you been using much lately, or not really?
No, not really. I mean, I use like icy hot, things like that, other supplements, but nothing really that's cannabis related too much.
Got it. Okay. So we're going to be really, really cautious. What we promote at Czar is you start low and you go slow. There's no need to oversaturate your system, especially with what we consider a very dormant system, and you don't need to really shock your endocannabinoid system. It's a waste your body, and we don't want you to have a bad experience with really utilizing a beautiful plant in the right way.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I'm actually from Missouri, and the reason why I said non-psychoactive to begin with is because I had a really bad experience.
Yes.
Going to the medical dispensary that I went to there, they were recommending different products for the same issues that I'm talking to you about. They were all psychoactive, and they increased my anxiety so much.
Yes.
It did not help in the way that I was hoping it would.
And you hone in on something so important. I think, as human beings, we do a lot of trial and error, and we test things for ourselves. And you're your best person to know your body and the reaction. But what we do know as certified cannabis consultants is that THC, too much of that compound, especially an individual dealing with social anxiety or stress in general, that can absolutely exacerbate that stress and anxiety to a very uncomfortable place in what you experience, even to a paranoid state.
Yes.
So again, we're very cautious here, no matter if somebody's using something that's non-psychoactive or psychoactive, and we're really proud. I mean, we've been audited nearly a dozen times from the state health department because they want to ensure that we're doing things the right way with quality control and what we're putting out in the community. And we've built up a really great brand in Texas, that we are individuals that really take quality, safety, and effectiveness seriously. So you're absolutely the right place, and I'm really excited that I can be the individual to help you and curate a really, what I would say, a successful therapy journey that you're going to begin with us today.
This is super exciting. Super exciting.
Yeah, so I'm going to recommend with the Bliss oil, we're going to take 1/8 of that dropper. Again, we're going to start very low, but we're going to be on that journey with you. So we're going to be contacting you here within the next 72 hours to see how this is doing and seeing if we have to modify your dosage in any way. And don't worry, I'm going to write this all down in what we call our cannatherapy dosing guide to really help you set yourself for success. So when you go home, you know how to utilize all of this. But I love to actually say it to you as well to help you just kind of remember visually and then kind of relate to that later on when you look at your guide. So the way that we administer a sublingual fat-soluble tincture is 1/8 of a dropper under the tongue. You're going to hold it there as long as possible. We say up to 2 minutes so it can get absorbed. Fat soluble just simply means that it adheres to your fat cells. So we have fat cells circulating through our bloodstream. When it adheres to the fat cells, it circulates for what we call and why we call it a base foundational layer for 12 to 14 hours of coverage.
Oh, wow.
So it's long after you forgot about it. It's actually doing the most heavy lifting for you. It's your best friend, your best ammunition in your body. And so ultimately, you come back to your endocannabinoid system and you're lighting up or igniting everything, full spectrum, including the THC derivatives, but such a small amount that you're not at a place where it's psychoactive. And that's why I'm keeping you really low, right? And so ultimately then in the evening, we're going to also start on that because I want to really see how you're doing. and then being able to contact you and really find out how you're doing to see if we need to fluctuate the daytime or the nighttime dose. So I'm going to again recommend that small dose, again, that eighth of a dropper in the evening, about 15 to 20 minutes before you go to bed. So the second that you feel that your eyes are getting restful, very sleepy, that's when I would say go to your bedtime, get into your routine, and let you get into what we call the REM, restorative productive sleep, so you can wake up again not groggy, not drowsy, and then again initiate it. Does that make sense? Absolutely. So very quickly again, canotherapy works best in layers. And so we're going to initiate this in the morning. We're going to tag on this on the shoulders and the neck because that's really stiff, that area, plus one wellness dummy. And in the evening, I want you to go ahead. If you feel that you need to add, we'll add that into your therapy, especially at the beginning. And then, again, the pump. This will be about 2 weeks or so that we're doing that, but the goal is that you start to use these less and less. That makes sense? And this is really sustaining your 24-hour coverage. Sound good?
That sounds great.
Well, that's so great meeting you, Dylan. I'm going to go ahead and walk you up there and make sure that you have your ID out and ready. We do scan it to ensure that everyone is 21 and above before we check anybody out.
Okay, we'll do it.
So, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.